afternoon and welcome to the 2024 Annual Stockholders Meeting of Megawide Construction Corporation. If you look at the right side of your screen, there's a chat box. Please state therein if you can clearly hear and see us, or if you're having any difficulty. Feel free to type in the chat box any comment or question you may have. We will address these during the question and answer portion of this ASM. We would also like to announce that Megawide's 2023 Annual Sustainability Report is now available online and may be accessed through a QR code as flashed on the screen. Now, we begin by introducing our Board of Directors and Corporate Secretary. First is Megawide's Chairman and Board of Directors, Mr. Edgar B. Saavedra.
I'm Edgar B. Saavedra, Chairman of the Board of Directors, Chief Executive Officer, and President of Megawide. I'm currently at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next is Megawide's Vice Chairman of Board of Directors, Mr. Manuel Louis B. Ferrer.
I am Manuel Louis B. Ferrer, Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors and Executive Director for Infrastructure Development of Megawide. I am currently at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly see and hear all the other attendees.
Thank you, sir. May I now introduce Megawide's Director, Mr. Oliver Waitan, who is attending this meeting through remote communication.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Oliver Waitan, Director of Megawide. I am currently in Citicorp office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
Thank you, sir. May I now introduce one of Megawide's directors, Mr. Ramon H. Diaz.
I am Ramon H. Diaz, Director of Megawide. I am currently at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
Thank you, sir. May I now introduce Megawide's Independent Director, Retired Chief Justice Hilario G. Davide Jr.
Thank you and good afternoon to all. I am Hilario Davide Jr., Independent Director of Megawide. I am currently at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now introduce Megawide's Independent Director, Mr. Celso P. Vivas.
Good afternoon. I'm Celso Vivas, Independent Director of Megawide. I am currently at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Finally, we introduce Megawide's Corporate Secretary, Attorney Teodulo San Juan Jr.
Thank you and good afternoon. I am Teodulo Antonio San Juan, Corporate Secretary of Megawide. I am currently at Megawide's office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I sent the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
We also acknowledge the presence of the Megawide management team and the representatives from Punong Bayan and Araulio, Megawide's external auditor. Let us start with the Philippine National Anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, telas ng sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang ay di magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing as we offer the Megawide prayer.
Almighty Father, we thank you for the gift each day to be with our Megawide family. For this is an opportunity to help improve the lives of our fellow Filipinos through our work in engineering and infrastructure. Humble our hearts as we start our work for the day. Allow us to handle each challenge guided by our shared values of malasakit, integrity, teamwork, community, innovation, and excellence. Continue to provide strength and guidance in every project we do. We pray that our facilities remain safe and that our products meet world-class standards for the benefit of our country and our countrymen. We commit and offer to you our mission that we will be an integral instrument in reshaping this country to become a first world Philippines. May it be your will to grant us more opportunities as we offer you the praise of work well done. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
We now call our chairman, Mr. Saavedra, to begin our 2024 annual stockholders meeting.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hereby call to order this 2024 annual stockholders meeting of Megawide Construction Corporation. Thank you for joining us today. Now, please refer to the screen for the agenda of this meeting. I now call on our Corporate Secretary to certify that notice and agenda for this ASM were sent to the stockholders and that a quorum exists to conduct this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I certify that the notice and agenda for this ASM were sent to the stockholders of record as of June 11, 2024. To give you more details, the notice was immediately disclosed to the Philippine Stock Exchange on May 10, 2024, upon its approval by the Board of Directors on the same date, and released in PSE EDGE as a circular on May 10, 2024. The notice and agenda were published in the websites and printed editions of the Daily Tribune and Malaya Business Insight on June 11 and 12, 2024, respectively. Additionally, Megawide's annual report and information statement are available in PSE EDGE and Megawide's website. The information statement and Megawide's website also contain the instructions on how the stockholders may vote, submit their proxies, and participate in the ASM. All these were completed in compliance with the requirements of Megawide's bylaws, the revised corporation code, and the issuances of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Mr. Chairman, I am pleased to certify that we have a quorum to conduct this meeting, given that stockholders representing 68.73% of the outstanding capital stock of Megawide, or 1,383,782,018 shares, are participating online, in absentia or by proxy.
Mr. Secretary, can you discuss the voting procedures for this meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The voting procedure for this ASM is as follows. All stockholders of record at the close of business on June 11, 2024 were entitled to the notice and to vote for this meeting. The election of directors shall be by cumulative voting. All other matters in the agenda shall be decided by a majority vote of the stockholders. The voting results shall be discussed with each agenda item. Stockholders were given the opportunity to vote in absentia from June 11 to June 26, 2024 through an online voting portal prepared by Megawide. Only stockholders who were validated by Megawide's stock transfer agent were allowed to vote in absentia. Stockholders were also permitted to submit proxy forms during the same period through electronic mail and personal service. Each of the votes cast in absentia and by proxy shall be considered cast for all the shares of such stockholder. Megawide stock transfer agent tabulated the votes cast in absentia and by proxy, which were then confirmed by Megawide's external auditor.
Let us now proceed with the approval of the minutes of the annual stockholders meeting held on July 12, 2023. I understand that copies of such minutes have been distributed and posted in Megawide's website.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I confirm that.
Mr. Chairman, I am Brian J. Vincent D. Goal, proxy for Citicorp Holdings Investment, Inc. I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the annual stockholders meeting held on July 12, 2023, and move to approve the minutes as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I am Pia Pauline P. Megawide, proxy for Megacorp Holdings, Inc. Incorporated, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded that the minutes of the July 12, 2023 annual stockholders meeting be approved. Mr. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, all of the shares present or represented in this meeting are in favor of approving the motion to approve the minutes.
Considering that all the votes were made for the approval of this agenda item, the motion is approved. Let us proceed with the approval of the company's employee stock ownership plan.
Mr. Chairman, in a meeting held on September 13, 2023, the Board of Directors approved the adoption of an employee stock ownership plan, or ESOP, for eligible employees of the company and allotted 10 million shares for this. This September 13, 2023 resolution was later affirmed and confirmed by the Board of Directors on May 23, 2024, further approving that the ESOP shares would be sourced from the company's current treasury shares. The details of the ESOP have been disclosed in the definitive information statement circulated to the stockholders. The company's ESOP is hereby submitted for stockholders' approval.
Mr. Chairman, I am Carl Matthew V. Navarre, proxy for Eternum Holdings, Inc. I move to approve the company's employee stock ownership plan.
Mr. Chairman, I am Carissa Mariel S. Enriquez, proxy for Shirley B. Alabado, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded that the company's employee stock owners plan be approved. Mr. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Based on votes cast, 99.86% of the shareholders of the shares present or represented in this meeting, or 1,381,800,548 shares, are in favor of approving the motion to approve the ESOP, while 0.14% or 1,953,270 shares voted against approval.
Considering that majority of the votes made were for the approval of this agenda item, The motion is approved.
We shall now go to the Chairman's address and President's report.
My fellow shareholders, we begin our journey to the next 25 years with greater purpose and stronger resolve towards our vision of engineering a first world Philippines. The years 2020 to 2022 were marked by the ill effects and scars of the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2023, we are thankful the worst is over. Amid a global economic slowdown, our company recorded consolidated revenues of 18.6 billion pesos, 26% higher due to a strong construction segment, complemented by a recovery of land port operations and initial share from our real estate business. As a result, consolidated net income amounted to 263 million pesos, which reversed the previous year's loss. After more than 25 years of thriving under the evolving commercial landscape, changing regulatory environments, and shifting political and economic directions, it became our second nature to respond at every turn to remain relevant. Yet, it takes more than reflex to endure every challenge. We also learn to focus on our key advantages to turn every crisis into an opportunity. Combined, this developed our agility as an organization. For instance, our divestment in our airport subsidiary in 2022 allowed us to pivot and led to our acquisition of PH1 World Developers, which completes a step in our natural progression towards higher value-added businesses. It also realizes the forward integration with our existing capabilities, particularly our precast and construction solutions, to harness synergies within our internal value chain. Beyond the numbers, this segment provides us a platform to help address the country's housing backlog, while showcasing our expertise in employing ESG-friendly construction methodologies and integrating green developments with modern living. Across our portfolio, we have been more mindful to engage in ESG-responsive projects and practices that are also aligned with our identified UN SDGs. To sustain last year's gains, we will sharpen our focus by taking on a 3D approach to our short to medium-term plans. This will provide us a more realistic and detailed view of our company and enhance our understanding of our strengths and opportunities, which will guide us in developing a more effective and responsible value creation strategy. The first D is delivery. In the construction segment, we aim to deliver steady completion and stable revenues from our new and ongoing projects, such as West Side City Resorts, Malolos Clark Railway, and Metro Manila subway system. We also want to maintain an annual order book equivalent to 2 to 3 years worth of revenues. In our land port, PITX last year hosted more than 100,000 passengers daily, the highest since it opened 6 years ago. And we target to serve 40 million passengers this year. We also aim to convert these higher revenues by creating a diverse mix of high-yielding tenants to spur passenger spending in the terminal area. Outside PITX, our transport-centric development expansion continues to gain traction, and we hope to break ground within 2024. For PH1, we need to complete the projects on time and on specification to quickly convert the 3.2 billion pesos reservation sales into revenues. We will complement this with strategic project launches, preferably via asset-light models, to sustain revenue generation and increase market share while managing the balance sheets. Our second D is delivering. Our financial position remains sound and compliant with our bank covenants, ending at 1.9 times DE ratios last year against 2.33 times covenant. This was also below the 2.6 times in 2021, prior to our airport transaction. Still, we intend to further reduce this to more comfortable and bankable levels by gradually paying down our debts and bring down our DE ratio to around 1.4 times. This will help ease interest expenses, enhance margins, and strengthen the balance sheets to boost shareholder value. The last D is for disclosure. Our company is an industry trailblazer when it comes to ESG advocacy, publishing our first sustainability report in 2018 ahead of our peers. We will publish a more comprehensive ESG disclosure report this year to allow us to measure our impacts and provide our investors and stakeholders a clear picture of where we are and plan to be on our ESG journey. The year 2023 demonstrated our ability to get back on our feet, but the way forward will take more than our bounce-back performance last year. It will require a stronger commitment from our stakeholders and a renewed focus from our company to achieve our triple bottom line objective of people, planet, and profit for the benefit of generations to come. To our employees, partner communities, business associates, government regulators, and investors, thank you very much for your never-ending trust and confidence in our company. Let us stay together in this journey towards engineering a first world Philippines.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us proceed with the next agenda item.
The next item of the agenda is the election of directors.
Mr. Chairman, the following have been nominated for election as members of the Board of Directors of Megawide to hold office until the next annual stockholders meeting and until their respective successors shall have been elected and qualified. Mr. Edgar B. Saavedra as an Executive Director. Mr. Manuel Louis B. Ferrer as an Executive Director. Mr. Ramon H. Diaz as a Non-Executive Director. Mr. Oliver Y. Tan as a Non-Executive Director. Former Chief Justice Hilario G. Davide Jr. as an Independent Director. And Mr. Celso P. Vivas as an Independent Director. The foregoing list includes 2 nominees found to be qualified for election as independent directors in compliance with the requirements of relevant laws, rules, and regulations for publicly listed companies.
Mr. Chairman, I am Ann Micah C. Estion, proxy for Zina B. Ocampo. I move that the 6 nominees be deemed elected as directors for the ensuing year.
Mr. Chairman, I am April Joy A. Abellano, proxy for Lucena Bungolan, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the election of the nominees mentioned as the members of the Board of Directors. Mr. Secretary, please tell us the voting results on this matter.
Mr. Chairman, the results of the election of the members of the Board of Directors are being flashed on screen. Based on the votes cast, the 6 nominees aforementioned have been elected as members of the Board of Directors for the ensuing year to hold office until the next annual stockholders meeting and until their respective successors shall have been elected and qualified.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The elected members of the Board of Directors for 2024 are shown on the screen. The next item of the agenda is the approval of the company's audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2023. I understand that the audited financial statement have been distributed with the annual report, information statement, disclosed in the PSE Edge, and posted in Megawide's website.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I confirm.
Mr. Chairman, I am Brian J. Vincent Legal, proxy for Citicorp Holdings Investment Inc. I move that Megawide's financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2023, as audited by Punong Bayan and Araulio, be approved.
Mr. Chairman, I am Pia Pauline P. Megawide, proxy for Megacor Holdings Incorporated, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the approval of the audited financial statements of Megawide for the year ended December 31, 2023. Mr. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, all of the stockholders who are present or are represented in this meeting are in approval of this agenda item.
Motion is approved. Next item on the agenda is the appointment of the external auditor of the company. Upon the recommendation of the Megawide's Audit and Compliance Committee, the Board of Directors proposed that Punong Bayan and Araulo be appointed as the external auditor.
Mr. Chairman, I am Carl Matthew V. Navarro, proxy for Eternum Holdings Inc. I move to appoint Punong Bayan and Araulio as the external auditor of Megawide.
Mr. Chairman, I am Carissa Mariel S. Enriquez, proxy for Shirley B. Alabado. I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the appointment of Punong Bayan and Araulo as the external auditor of Megawide. Mr. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Based on the votes cast, all stockholders who are present or are represented in this meeting have approved the appointment of Punong Bayan as Araulo and Araulo as the external auditor of Megawide.
The motion is approved. The next item is the ratification of all acts of the Board of Directors and Management.
Mr. Chairman, I am Ann Maita C. Estion, proxy for Zina B. Ocampo. I move that all acts of the Board of Directors and Management be ratified.
Mr. Chairman, I am April Joy A. Abellano, proxy for Lucena Bungolan, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the ratification of all acts of the Board of Directors and Management. Mr. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Based on votes cast, all stockholders who are present or are represented in this meeting have approved this agenda item.
The motion is approved. Are there any matters to take up?
Mr. Chairman, there are no other matters to be taken up based on the agenda.
Let us now move on to our question and answer portion. To our audience, please enter your questions in the chat box on the right side of your screens. Questions will be entertained on a first-come, first-served basis. For good order, please state your name and affiliation. We request everyone to limit your questions to one main question and one follow-up question. Thank you. So we received the following questions from our shareholders prior to the ASM. Question number 1 is, when do you expect the real estate segment under PH1 World Developers to contribute to Megawide's earnings? Are shareholders entitled to discount when they buy a unit, Mr. Chair?
Okay, there are two questions here. The first question is about the earnings contribution. We expect next year the real estate business, our subsidiary, will start contributing. However, the substantial EBITDA earnings will be felt by 2026. This is due to the fact that two of the ongoing constructions will be completed by 2026. Now, the second question is about the discount. Now, please refer to the website, and if ever you can engage to any one of our sales agent regarding the promos and discounts.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question here is Megawide's construction business and the industry in general on its way to recovery?
I think the best answer is the best answer is if you look at the numbers from last year, 2 years ago, last year and this year, especially the first quarter, you can see the improvements from a negative loss. We know that the last 2-3 years was pandemic, so we know we have challenges in terms of termination of contracts, cancellations. So we have experienced all those challenges, but right now, almost all of those projects have already closed. So all the ongoing projects that we are doing now are post-pandemic. So that's why we posted on a good earnings for the first quarter. So we expect a better improvement on the succeeding quarters.
Thank you, sir. Third question is, congratulations for a solid year in 2023 and posting a strong financial performance. Aside from the subway and MCRP, what other new infrastructure projects are you expecting to win? When do you expect to start construction?
We have one submitted bid to the subway system project, which is the CP105, submitted last 4 or 5 months ago. So we are expecting, based on the schedule, the bid to be open by Q3. So hopefully, if we will be able to make it, this is an additional package for the infrastructure for the company. This is for the short term, but for the long term, we also expect for other infrastructure projects that will be bidded out other than the subway. We know, you can read in the news, even the Cavite-Bataan bridge will also be bidded out, even the third bridge of Mactan. So all of these projects, depending on the schedule of the government, if they will be bidding this out within the year, the group will be participating on this bid. Oh, it's the fourth bridge in Cebu, not the third. Are there any further questions or matters to be raised?
Mr. Chairman, I am Brian J. Vincent Digo, proxy for Citicorp Holdings Investment Inc. I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Mr. Chairman, I am Pia Pauline P. Megawide, proxy for Megawide Holdings Incorporated, and I second the motion.
Thank you. The Megawide 2024 Annual Stockholders Meeting is hereby adjourned.
So that concludes Megawide's 2024 Annual Stockholders Meeting. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.